Hey, welcome to Tips from the Top, Meet Your Upline series tonight. Tonight our special guest is Celeste Gywnn. If you do not know, she is the highest ranked ambassador in the company. She is double diamond, which means that she has reached the top and then started back over again, signed up under herself and went to the top again. So what an incredible accomplishment and what an amazing leadership to be under. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to Celeste. She's going to share her story and some tips, and then we'll open it up at the end for about 15 minutes for a little Q&A. If you have questions along the way, you can put them in the chat. And if you could all make sure that you're muted, and I'll kind of make sure that everyone's muted along the way. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Celeste.
Okay, awesome. If anything happens, Angie, and you need to mute it again, just give me a heads up and I can unmute myself. No problem. I've gotten really used to it. Can you guys all hear me clearly? Because Angie, like I totally heard you, but there was you were a little bit jumbled. So I just want to make sure everybody's nodding their head. Y'all can hear me crystal clear. We're good to go? Okay, awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, do you want to record this or not, Angie?
Yes,
making sure before I start. It is recording. Okay, awesome. Very cool. So I will tell you right now, I'm about the least tech-savvy person on the planet, which is why I always hop on these early, because I usually have some kind of technical difficulty. I'm just keeping it real. So now y'all know I'm double diamond, and you can be uber successful without being tech-savvy. Now, I'm very Facebook-savvy, but technology completely makes me break out in a hot sweat. When I go to do an event, the only thing that causes me any stress is whether or not I'm going to be able to hook up my computer to the projector. I'm not kidding. Once that's done, I'm like, woo, we can party now. So we're all good. We're recording. We're on. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. I absolutely love Angie. And you know what? Having the opportunity to get to know her has been, one of the big blessings of this business. We're so blessed. There's so many great things about this business, but the relationships are certainly a huge part. I've loved getting to know her, and I look forward to getting to know her even better over the next forever and ever, as long as we're doing this Plexus gig. So I'm going to share my story with you guys, and then, oh, there I am. I just got really big on the screen. Did you change something, or was that on my end? What did I do? Okay, now I'm looking at myself. That's really awkward. I'm going to share my story with y'all. And then I'm going to jump into some tips, and we're going to do some Q&A. So I'm going to look over here, so I'm looking at y'all. I told y'all, not tech savvy. It totally gives me anxiety. But stay-at-home mama, let me tell you a little bit about my story. Started back in July of, let's say, 2012, I think. I was scrolling on Facebook like I did so often, even when I wasn't a Plexus ambassador. And I saw pictures of Jen Hawkins, who was my roommate from college. And I said, holy moly, she looks amazing. I called her up. And listen, she's my best friend, so don't judge me for what I'm going to tell you that I said to her. I think I said, okay, you were fat, now you're skinny. What did you do? And that's literally how the conversation started. There's only 100 folks on this call, so I can be real and goofy and transparent with y'all tonight, right? She told me about Plexus and told me about the business, and I think I literally said right then, I was like, back it up, sister. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not even looking for a hobby. But I do want these products. So how do I order? And she sent me her website, and I ordered the products. I had great results. I had lost weight quickly. I was able to get off of antidepressants with some help from my doctors and the products with my doctor's permission. And I realized that 4 p.m. crash that I thought was just normal part of being a mom wasn't so normal, and that it's okay to be this energetic at 8:35 p.m. and I don't have to be crashed out at 4 p.m. every day. So it changed my life. Jen shared the business with me probably 8 or 9 times over the course of about 9 months, and every time I shut her down. Now, I also sent her 30 to 35 customers over the course of that 8 or 9 months, because I wanted Jen to get to be a stay-at-home mom. like I was, because it's the most fulfilling that I've ever had, and I wanted that for her. So she finally came to visit me to see my daughter in a play and convinced me to join her. But before I go there, I want to tell you guys why I was so skeptical and anti-network marketing, okay? Flashback to 9 years when I was a little bit younger and had small kids. I think they were kindergarten and first grade. I get a call from this mom whose kids are in high school. And she says, "Hey, Celeste, I was wondering if you want to go to dinner." And I was like, I got a little puffed up, and I was like, holy moly, cool high school age mom. Not high school age, you know what I mean? Mom of high school kids wants to be my friend. She asked me to go to dinner. I think I might have gotten a little prideful and texted a few friends and said, hey, so-and-so asked me to go to dinner. Told my husband, hey, take off because I'm going to dinner this night. Thought it was pretty cool. Well, long story short, it was the day of this dinner, my daughter, Maddie Grace, got sick, and I had to call up this mom and tell her, bad news, I know you're going to be super disappointed. Like, I'm probably going to like ruin your day right now, but I can't go to dinner with you tonight. I didn't actually say that, but that's what I was thinking. She said, well, we do these every month. Well, that kind of made me like, what? Like, I don't know, what do you mean? Long story short, she was inviting me to an opportunity meeting. Never mentioned the name of her company, never mentioned the service she was selling, never mentioned the word opportunity meeting, never said the word business, completely led me to believe she wanted to be my friend and that she was asking me to dinner. So then I was like offended, my feelings were hurt, I was embarrassed. She didn't really want to be my friend. And I looked at my husband that night, got my daughter to bed with an earache, and I said, I will never, ever, 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 there was like 8 or 10 evers, okay? Do network marketing. I will never, ever make my friends come to parties and spend money they don't have. I will never pressure them to buy stuff from me. I will never let them think that business is more important than friendship. I mean, all these things, like I said all of this 8 years ago. So fast forward to Plexus, and let me tell you guys, I've never, ever, 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 ever felt like I was pressuring anyone to buy my products. I've never, ever, ever, ever tricked anyone into hopping on a Zoom call, meeting me for coffee, or coming to an opportunity meeting, right? People want what we have. That is the most beautiful thing about this, is that we have products that are focused on the 3 main problems with our culture, with our health, and that's gut health, blood sugar regulation, and inflammation, right? Those are 3 hot topics and 3 things that we know cause so many of the issues that folks are dealing with today. So we have something people need. People want my energy, right? I could walk into a room and people want to talk to me because I'm bubbly and I'm full of energy and they want what I have, right? Like whatever she's taken, where do I get it type thing. So I've never felt like I was pressuring anyone, and people have always wanted what I had, and I've always just shared boldly and passionately, and people have been attracted to what I'm doing. So did join Gywnn. Obviously, y'all know that, hence being on this call with y'all right now. But decided quite quickly, like the day after I joined, that I was going to work this business. The day I joined, I wasn't. I was signing up to get my products wholesale. Gywnn somehow convinced me that it was going to help her. And here's the deal. I will tell you this now because I know the business. Gywnn knew that I'm bossy. Gywnn knew I had a big mouth. She knew I already had results. She knew I was going to tell everybody I knew. We didn't use words like sphere of influence. We didn't say we were influencers. Those weren't like, words that were in our daily vocabulary. But she knew those things about me. She knew I was going to share. She called me the next day and told me about this trip to Hawaii. Told me I had 4.5 months to get there. She knows, like, travel is my love language. Y'all know that book, The 5 Languages of Love? Travel is my 6th love language, okay? She knows this. We've been best friends since we were 18. I said, okay, what do I have to do? She told me what I had to do. Here's the thing. You know how we talk about putting on your blinders? Well, when you look left and you look right and there's nobody there to compare yourself to, it's really easy to do that. So I just was working hard. I was working unto the Lord. It's all I knew to do. And everything I've ever done, I've just worked hard, and I went for it. So the key word there is I worked hard. So often folks join network marketing and they think it's going to be easy. I'm going to sign up a few folks and then I'm going to sit back and let them work. This is going to be like winning the lottery. I'm just going to post on Facebook. All the misnomers that kind of make people sour about this business because they think it's going to be easy. And it's hard work, right? Every single leader in this company will tell you that they work hard. Now, we work when we want to work. We have a lot of freedom. I'm doing these calls right now. I just posted on Facebook. I haven't worked a whole lot today. I was really busy being mom and doing mom stuff. But I'm doing these calls right now. My husband's out of town. My kids are in bed. Why not? Why would I not work my business right now? So we still work hard. But I did that. I ended up going Emerald in 4.5 months, which, here's the deal. We did not even know when it happened that it was like, whoa, that's amazing, right? We were just working hard. Jen and I was doing what Jen told me to do. We were learning this business together. And I wanted it. And I ended up getting that first trip to Hawaii. That was my why. Honestly, my first why was just products of losing weight. My why quickly turned to making some extra money. And it very quickly became about complete and total financial freedom. I'm really blessed in that I'm surrounded by very successful traditional businessmen. If you don't know this about me, I live out in the middle of Nowhereville in Anna, Texas. And I live on the same property, obviously, with my husband, right? He lives right here in this house. And then my dad lives next door to me. And then my brother lives on the other side of him. And these are men that have been uber successful in traditional business. And they looked at me. They know me. They looked at the comp plan. They all had testimonies. They all knew that the products work. And they were like, yeah, you're going to be a diamond. You got this. So I believed in myself. I knew I could do it. And from the very beginning, that was my goal. So in 6 months, I did go diamond. If you know our comp plan, you know the 11th way to make money is the re-entry program. So I re-entered on month 7. And I ended up doing it all over again with a whole new team on my 2-year anniversary. So that's where the double diamond thing comes in. And listen, I could sit here, and I will for a minute, and tell you what a game changer this has been for my family. My husband has worked very hard our whole marriage so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. We made a lot of sacrifices. He's a Marine. If there's any Marines out there, oorah, thank you for your service. But my husband worked hard our whole marriage so that I could stay home. So how cool to take financial stress off him. I mentioned he's at the ranch hunting right now, right? Like he still owns 2 businesses. He works really hard. The man works to relax. He actually doesn't know how to relax. But how cool that he can do what he wants to do, work when he wants to work. We have really great people running our other companies, and he's able to go to the ranch this week and hunt. That's a huge blessing. So the financial thing has been amazing. But instead of just saying, okay, let me tell you how much money I make, I kind of like to share briefly before I jump into the tips. I'm just watching the clock. We're doing good. I like to share briefly about what it's meant for my family, besides taking pressure off my husband, besides 4 trips to Hawaii. Thank you. Somebody said coolest shirt ever, so I had to recognize it. Don't we wish? Okay, we won't go there, but don't we wish? But we won't get political because I know there's different people with different views, and I love them all. Respect me, I respect you. But don't we wish that I want to talk. I just lost my train of thought. Y'all got me all thinking about politics, and I was about to go there, and I decided I better not. But it's been a beautiful thing to take that pressure off of him. But we've taken our trips all over the place. All that's super fun and amazing. I've added on to my house. It's great, right? But listen, I've done things that, like, if you heard me at convention, we talk about your bucket list, and my bucket list was like this big. Now it's like, humongous. We've been able to do things that we thought only celebrities do, right? Like, I mean, you're like, oh, Angelina Jolie, yeah, she helps orphans in Africa. Not Celeste Gywnn from Anna, Texas. Like, real people don't do stuff like that. But we've been able to do stuff like that. We've been able to drill wells in Africa. We built a medical clinic. And this year, we're about to start filling the medical clinic with supplies. And listen, lots of folks on my Plexus team have contributed to that too. Like, lots of folks are using this to better the world, not just their personal situation. So it's just been such a blessing to be able to be a part of something bigger than yourself, being part of a church plant. These are all things that we dreamed of doing and we wanted to do, but we just thought we'll never be able to do things like that. And here we are living it every day. I love that. And I love to share boldly because of how it's changed our lives with the products and the business. But what I love the most is being able to share boldly no matter what your rank is, right? Anyone can do this. It's just being bold and building that belief. So no matter what, like if you're a silver ambassador and you're making $200 a month, listen, 200 to 500, that is a game changer. Okay? To so many families. It was a game changer for us when I started this business. Okay? So don't think you can't share with folks about how this is changing your life if you're making $200 to $500 a month. Listen, $35 investment for $500 a month, that's a pretty amazing ROI. That return on an investment is crazy. And that'll be crazy to your network if you're bold and you share with them. So you've got to be bold. You've got to share. Anyone can do this. We have the right products. We all know that, right? We've all read the testimonies. We are on Facebook. We've gone to events. If you haven't, get to events. You've heard the testimonies. It's life-changing. We know the products work. We know the call plan works, right? You can't doubt that. If you do doubt that, please go watch all the Gywnn documentaries. Take some time to invest in that, to build your belief in this comp plan. Because when you go and watch those Gywnn docs and you're like, okay, I just watched 10 Gywnn docs. Everyone is from a different part of the country. People are different races. They're from different socioeconomic levels, different religious beliefs, different education levels, and they're all Gywnn ambassadors, right? And you can watch them all, and every single one is so stinking different. That'll help you build belief in the business. That will also help you build belief in yourself, which is the most important part of this equation. You cannot doubt that our products work. You can't argue that. You cannot doubt or argue that the comp plan doesn't work. But you can believe that you can't do this, right? And I think that is what I've learned in the last 4 years. That is really what holds people back the most, is belief in themselves. And watching those Gywnn docs, you're like, well, how is watching other people's success going to help me build mine, help me build my belief? Because you're going to watch them, and like I said, you're going to go, everybody's different, everybody's unique. There's nothing common about these folks. They don't have anything in common except that they're passionate and that they have belief. And if they can do it, I think we've got 120 diamonds now. If all those 120 different folks can do it, so can I. Y'all, there's introverts that are diamonds. There's extroverts that are diamonds. I mean, you name it. We are all so unique and so different, but we all have passion and belief, and you can build that. Through education, through watching Gywnn docs, through reading testimonials, through hopping on these kind of calls and listening to leaders tell their stories. I mean, you can build that. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to look in the mirror and say, I can do this. I got this. I believe in these products. I know they work. I know that they will change the lives of my network. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to share because I believe I can do this. But what it really boils down to, besides passion and besides belief, talking about passion really quick. Hey, listen, I don't have a single person in my network, not one, that is going to call me or sit next to me at a volleyball game or a soccer game and tell me how broke, tired, or sick they are, right? Now, listen, they don't all join me, right? They don't all join me. There's lots of folks that sit around me at all these games. There's a lot of folks that I do life with, not nearly as many as there used to be, that haven't joined me, but they know not to tell me that they're broke, tired, or sick, because I'm going to go, okay, Angie, you know what I do, right? Okay, all right. So you know I believe I have the answer. Whether you're broke, tired, or sick, I have the answer. Listen, that's passion. That's belief. No one in my network doubts that I have that. I promise. I'm sure there's some that want to roll their eyes. They're not rolling their eyes anymore. 3 years ago, they may have rolled their eyes. Now, man, I got folks interested in network marketing that never would have been interested in, because they've watched me build that passion and belief. They've watched me stay committed, and they've watched me have success. Commitment. That is the main part of this equation. You've got passion, you've got belief, you believe you can do it, you believe in the products, you believe in the comp plan. Do you have commitment? Is it not happening fast enough for you that you're getting frustrated, right? I am always in shock at folks that say they're committed, but they're not committed to being committed. Yep, I just said that. That's kind of deep. You got to let it sink in. I don't know if it's deep or just silly, but you've got to be committed to being committed. I mean, what does that mean? That means you join. You can't say, I'm going to do this, man. I'm going to do this for 2 months. I'm going to post every day. I'm going to call like 10 people, and I'm committed. I'm committed though. Because listen, that's not commitment. That's, I'm going to give it the old college try. That's, I'm going to dabble in this. That's the opposite of commitment, right? If you just say, I'm going to give it the old college try. No, like, that's like saying I'm committed to like my marriage, but you know what? Divorce is always an option, which for me, it's not, right? Believe me, I'd have been out of here a long time ago. Hope my husband never sees this replay. But if I wasn't committed, I would have been out of here a long time ago. I was committed to being committed because I know that it's what God has planned for me, right? And it's the same with this business. I'm committed to being committed because I know this is what God has planned for me. But so often, people say they're committed, and it doesn't happen fast enough. They get discouraged, and they walk away. Well, listen. You weren't as passionate as you should have been. You didn't build the belief that you should have been building. Because for me, with what these products have done for me, what they've done for my family, what the business has done for me, I'm talking as a silver ambassador 4 years ago, I could not walk away from this, right? I could not share, that's a double negative. I could not share this with everyone that I know because I'm that passionate. And if I was still silver 4 years later making $500 a month, good for me. First of all, I wouldn't be, because I would be so committed that I would be building, and it may have been a slow and steady. No matter what, I could not share this with the world, right? That's commitment. Mind blown that someone that will go to work every day for the rest of their lives till they retire, drive in traffic in uncomfortable clothes, go to an office building, sit in a cubicle where they're cold around people they don't like, right? Because they have to, because you got to pay bills, right? But they'll do it for 25 years because that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's traditional. And they never make 6 figures annually, right? And they retire and they've never made a difference. They've never pursued their dreams. They've always worked to make somebody else rich, because you have to have money. You've got to have a job. But my mind is always blown when someone won't continue to do Plexus in the nooks and crannies of their life. I mean, for me, 5 months, 5 years. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten, you know? Why would you not continue to do your other job? Because you got to pay your bills. I get it, right? Why would you not continue to do that and then work your Plexus business? If you're that passionate about the products and you have that much belief in this business and in these products, why would you not do that if it takes you 5 years? That's it. So commit to being committed. Keep working, and decide that it's worth it. I'm excited for the future, y'all. I feel like right now, 4 years into this gig, we're still right on the cusp of becoming that legacy company. We will be a legacy company. You know, I'm excited to be a part of it. I can't wait to see where we are in 15, 20, 25 years. Residual income is an absolutely beautiful thing. I love being a part of this company. I love getting paid to change lives. And now, I talked about my why in the beginning. This is my why now, right? My why is helping other folks get to where they want to be with this business, get to where they want to be with these products. Watching you guys change the lives for your family, that is what fills my cup, right? And my cup runneth over. So I got a lot of successful people on my team, and it is so rewarding, way more so than any of the money, than any of the trips and the cars and shopping sprees and all the crazy stuff. Okay, now I'm bragging, right? Like I just did that. I'm like, and let me tell you how amazing, and look at my office. It's pretty amazing too. Yeah, I just went there. But way cooler than all that stuff is watching folks change lives. And you know what? Ultimately for me as a mom, and then we'll do some questions, it's my kids being proud of me. It's my kids seeing that I can be a great mom. Like I truly can do it all. I can be a great mom and be there for my kids. I can be a good wife. And I can also be a successful businesswoman. So I want all that for y'all, for men and women. I love that this can be another option. Traditional is great if you want it, but this is great. Freedom is great. Freedom is beautiful. So, all right, you want to take a couple of questions, Angie?
Yes, amen. Thank you so much for sharing that, Celeste. Okay, so we already have some posted here, and I will just go down. Okay, so what's a good tip for fence sitters?
Oh, well, okay, so obviously we're on this call right now, but my number one tip for fence sitters would be right now with the free shipping till, 11 p.m., yes. You have an excuse to reach out to every single person in your entire network that has ever, yes, told you they were interested, or maybe not even. Hey, I'm reaching out to you. I don't know if you're interested, but we got free shipping. Who doesn't like to save money, right? I use these promotions, a new product. I use anything I can as an excuse to follow up. Fortune in the follow-up, we say it's cliche, but it's true. Took Jenny 9 months of following up with me. What if she had just said, okay, I think Celeste is really serious about just being a customer. I got 180,000 people on my team working this business. Where would we be if she had not kept following up with me? So those fence sitters, you know what? I so often say, people really mean it when they say they're going to order. People really mean it when they say, oh, yeah, I'm going to join. But you don't know what you don't know. And when something's not important to you, listen, there's a shirt that keeps showing up in my news feed, and it says, like, but first gangster rap. Have y'all seen that shirt? Yeah. I see that in my news feed every day, and I'm like, oh, I want to order that. I really mean it, right? I really want to order that shirt because I think it's freaking epic. I just haven't taken the time to do it, but it's going to keep showing up in my news feed, and eventually I'm going to order it because they're persistent with making sure that it gets in front of my face every single day. So there's fortune in that follow-up. It's the same reason Coca-Cola still advertises. Y'all, we all know Coca-Cola's out there, right? Why do they still put commercials on TV every single day? Because familiarity breeds comfort. And the more you get it in front of people, the more likely they are to bite the bullet. So I just say, fence sitters, follow up, follow up, follow up.
Good. Okay, so how do you handle getting snubbed, or if you start to feel like people are getting overhearing you sharing Plexus?
So 2 things come to mind. First of all, I love that saying that said, I used to care what people thought until I tried to pay my bills with their opinions. There's that, right? And let me just be the voice of experience. 4 years later, people are not talking about me anymore. And if they are, they're talking good about me, okay? They're in shock, and they're like, holy moly, we heard X, Y, and Z. Is she really doing this? Oh my gosh, does she really have this big of a team? Does she really lose that much weight? Is she really going on this trip? That's what people are saying now. So for me, so what? Like, I lost some friends. I sat by you in 8th grade history. I don't need to be your Facebook friend anyways, right? Like, your real friends are going to be happy for you. Your folks that unfriend you or block you or talk about you behind your back, good. Plexus just weeded out some people that you don't need in your life, right? I have so many friends that have not joined me on this business, but they are so happy for me. I have so many friends that aren't even on the products, but they are so happy for me. The folks that hate, they're not your real friends. So I just say good riddance, you know. I don't know if that's kind of a brash, kind of brazen way to answer that, but I believe that it's truth. When you get over the pride and you get over worrying what people are going to think, and you realize gold is in your backyard and it's going to change people's lives, it's going to change their health, it's going to change their wealth, you kind of stop caring what people think when you go, okay, right, like, but so-and-so needs this. So you may unfriend me, but I just changed the lives of 10 people who joined my team that are now making however much money a month. And then you don't really care about those people.
Okay, so any tips on getting wholesale ambassadors to share?
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, listen, I signed up to be a wholesale ambassador, right? And so did so many leaders on my team. I think the key is keeping them connected. Every single wholesale buyer that joins my team, guess what? They still go into my team page. Even if they tell me they're just signing up to get their product wholesale, I say, oh, great. I'm going to add you to this page where you can ask questions, all kinds of information. You'll know when we have free shipping in case you want to order product for yourself. You're not going to work it? Okay, well, when we get a new product, I post about it in there so you'll know about it. It's just a way for me to keep you connected. So often, people will see, they're watching, and they'll see something that gets their attention. It may be a contest. It may be a new product. It may be a trip to Hawaii that they see me posting about. It may be leaders retreat, here in Dallas, that they're like, well, that looks fun. It may be them seeing that I've got this relationship with all of these women and they yearn for friendships, right? Because it's harder and harder to make friends the older we get as women. It's especially women that have the same moral compass, the same passion, the same belief, the same desire to change the future for their family, the same desire to succeed. I mean, that's hard to find. So you never know when somebody that's just a wholesale customer is going to be attracted to that and say, okay, I think I can do this. Or they're going to go, okay, I remember I have that website and I've had 6 people ask me why I have so much energy, or wow, so-and-so said I look thinner. I need to tell them about Plexus. And then they remember, ding, 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 I have a website. So that's kind of, I don't know if that's a really long-winded way to answer that, but that's it.
So how do you talk to people that think they don't need the business?
I mean, listen, who doesn't need the business? That's what I would say to that. I mean, who doesn't want to, first of all, diversify, right? Like, we're business owners. My husband is very successful. Why would I not want more money? Like, I don't understand. Like, I would love to be able to do more for missions, right? Who doesn't need the money? I would love to be able to start a church plant. I would love to be able to pay cash for all of my kids to go to college and have the money in the bank when they're freshmen, right? So that's kind of the approach I take for that. I don't think there's anybody, I mean, listen, I don't want Donald Trump on my team, right? He may not need the business. He's super rich. But besides something like that, like, who doesn't need it? I mean, that's the approach I would take, is so you don't want to diversify. You don't want to just share if you have success with the products and make some money. You don't want to go with me to Hawaii every year. You don't want a free car. I mean, like, and I was sharing boldly like that, Angie, way before I was uber successful financially, right? Because I saw the opportunity. It goes back to that belief. I knew I was going to be driving that Lexus. I knew I was going to be in Hawaii. I knew I was going to be making 6 figures. You know what I mean? Like, so I was sharing that boldly before it was my reality because I believed it.
Okay, so tips for people who think it's just a pyramid scheme.
Well, I love this one personally because I have like the perfect answer and it's about me. Okay. So anytime I get that one, I say, well, I mean, like pyramids, they're like this, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm kind of down here and I've got all these people above me. I make more money than all of them. So how is that a pyramid scheme? If I'm making more money than everyone in my upline, that really can't be a pyramid scheme, right? You get out of it what you put into it. And that's what I love the most about our comp plan is you can dabble or you can work this as a business. And if you're happy with hobby results, great, work it as a hobby. If you want business results, great, work it as a business. But a pyramid would be everybody at the very tip top making money. And that's simply not the case. I know 14 levels up from me. One of them I know very, very well. I make more money than all of them, right? So, I mean, you can use me as an example. There's folks in this business. Jen Hawkins makes more money than her whole upline, my upline, as a diamond sapphire. So I think, and here's the deal. I mean, it's super uneducated because pyramid schemes are illegal. So, I mean, not that you want to go at your audience or your person asking and go, hey, you're a moron, those are illegal, because you don't want to turn people off. But I definitely think if it's someone that you're close to, it's very, very okay to say, girl, come on. Pyramid schemes are illegal. And you know what? Do you know my character? Because do you think I would be involved? That's always, I'm like, would I ever be involved in something that was a pyramid scheme? No, you know me. You know my moral compass, and you know it's strong. So why would you even think? That's like offensive that you would even think that I would be involved in something like that.
Okay, what are your favorite personal growth books?
Anything, like right now I am like soaking up John Maxwell, like nobody's business. Laws of Growth is what I'm reading right now, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. I've listened to it like 3 times, and now I'm actually reading it, and I've got the highlighter out, and I'm going through it, and oh man, I'm just eating it up, and I'm realizing more and more how important personal growth is. Just so many that just don't have that belief in themselves. And it's important to me too, to be able to know how to lead my team well. What else? I mean, as far as network marketing books, I love The 4-Color Personality for MLM by Tom Big Al Schreider. Probably listened to that 7 or 8 times. My kids have probably listened to it 5 or 6 times, bless their hearts. We spend a lot of time in the car arguing over what our color personality is, because my daughter doesn't like her color person. She really wants to be blue, but she's not. So anyways, that's another great one to learn how to do the business, because when you learn that not everybody is motivated by what you're motivated, it helps you meet people where they're at. You know, if I'm talking about I'm having this huge party next Tuesday because I'm blue and that's what makes me happy and that's what makes me want to work this business, the trip to Hawaii, right? And I'm talking to someone who is super yellow and they're motivated by helping people, well, I just completely miss them, because they could care less about the fun that I'm having and the trips that I'm on in the free cars. They want to know, are you changing lives? So that book really changed the way I did business when I realized I had to meet people where they were at.
Okay, so how do you decide whether to sign someone up as a preferred customer or wholesale customer, retail customer?
Mm-hmm. There's no formula, and I say this over and over. If you tell me, if Tamara says, I'm just signing up to be wholesale, and I'm going to go, okay, here's the deal. I know her. I know she has a huge network. I know she's got a big mouth, and she's going to tell everybody. And she says she's just signed up to be wholesale. I'm going to go, okay, well, yeah, you should just sign up to be wholesale, because I know she's going to tell people, because I know she's disciplined and she's going to use the products, she's going to have success, and then all of a sudden, boom, her mom wants to know what she's doing, and then her sister, and then whoever else, right? So that person that says they're just going to be wholesale, I want them on my team if they're influencers or if I think they're going to share. Now, if I have somebody, and listen, because I need the PV, right? It's getting harder and harder, and I'm having to farm more and more to keep my PV up. If you tell, if I know, like, you're literally like a recluse and you like know 2 people and you work from home and you don't ever lose your you don't leave your office, I'm going to tell you to be a preferred customer, because I need that PV. And then I'm going to watch, and if you start having success, or if you call me and you say, okay, now my mama wants it, I'm going to go, okay, girl, you need to sign up. So there's no formula. It's really case by case, person by person, prayerfully, like, looking at them and their personality and then deciding where you think they should be.
Okay, so tell me, how do you manage your team? Because, I mean, you have a ginormous team. So how do you kind of balance and manage it all? And, like, do you cut it off at a certain point, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Generally, I focus on my level 1s. That's where I pour into. I have a page just for them. I do contests just for them. I do weekly Zoom calls 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 if they've got a potential just for them. I pour on them and pour into them, and my hope is that duplicates, and it has, right? Obviously, I've got 18 level 1 jewels. I've got 7 level 1 diamonds. So it's worked. But listen, it's worked because my goal was always to build leaders, right? I say leaders create leaders, not minions. And so often when we're just starting this journey, we want to lead and we want to be like, Queen Plexus, and we want everyone to come to us because we're the leader of our team. And I think that's one of the biggest traps you can fall into as a leader. If you're senior gold or up and you're building a healthy team, you have to realize you can't be all things to all people. I will tell you right now, the best night for me is when I'm sitting at home in my pajamas with my family and my dog, and I know there's an event going on down the street with 300 people there. Or when I'm at dinner on a date with my husband, and I know there's a training call going on with 50 people on it, and I'm not on it. So leaders create leaders. I think that often, people get their feelings hurt, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so's having a call on their upline. They didn't ask me to be on it. And I say, good. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing something right. They're leading their team. Now you go pour into somebody else that needs to be poured into, and you let them lead. And my level ones all know that I'm there for them, but I am not a spoon feeder. I'm a baby bird trainer. I'm going to give you what you need, and then I'm going to push you out of the nest, and I hope that you soar. But I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to flap for you. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you the nourishment, the sustenance. I'm going to give you the worms to help you get the energy to go and fly out of that nest. But my leaders have all built because they're leaders, right? Like, they don't come to me for everything. They find answers. In the very beginning, I realized very quickly, if somebody asked me a question and I did not respond immediately, if I waited a few hours, guess what? They found the answer on their own. So I'm very quick to not respond immediately. And my level ones know that, I set some boundaries, and I did that from the very beginning. So that's a very long way to answer that. But I focus on my level ones. Now, that being said, I've got some 2s and 3s that I brought into my core page because I've seen that they wanted it. And my level 1 may have fallen off the map. And I'm like, okay, she's got $4,000 in PV and she's about to go gold. She has no one loving on her. So I'll reach out and I'll invite them in to join my core page. I treat them just like they're level 1s. My senior rubies that are my level 2s that are going to go emerald, listen, that is not any less sweet for me. Knowing that because I loved on them and loved them well and helped train them that they went emerald, that's not any less sweet for me than if they were one of my level 1s. Now, you have to be very wise because you can't spread yourself so thin that you are trying to be all things to all people. But prayerfully, selectively, I've definitely sought some folks out that I've loved on, that they're going to be uber successful in this business. I've seen them have success since I've taken them under my wings, and that's super sweet to me.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we're going to close.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so how do you message potentials? And I mean, surely, you've messaged everybody by now, right? But how do you reach out and message potentials or talk to potentials?
That's a good one. I always say reach out to folks in the manner they want to be reached out to, if that makes sense. So if it's a family member and you send them a blanket email, that's super offensive, right? If it's a family member, I'm going to be like, I'm coming over tomorrow and we're going to talk about plexus, right? If that's the relationship that you have with them. You have to reach out to folks in the manner they want to be reached out to that's going to make them feel the most comfortable. And if it's somebody that's an acquaintance, an inbox message on Messenger might be the best way. I will tell you this right now. This could be the best tip I give y'all today. I do not text message. I do not type out messages on Messenger. You can ask Angie. She's been talking to me this week. I send voice messages, right? First of all, it saves so much time to be able to just talk it out. Second of all, if I'm talking to a potential and I type out, Angie, I would still love to share plexus with you. When can we talk? It is life-changing. You're like, yeah, yawn. Like, she probably sent that out to 300 people, like a blanket text message. But if I go, Angie, girl, when are we going to get together for coffee? Oh my gosh, this plexus stuff is rocking my world. You need this. I want you to do this with me. I want to be on the beaches of Maui with you next year. You have a huge network and you're totally into health and fitness. When can we chat? Okay, first of all, I'm excited, right? Second of all, if I come at you with a you're awesome, you're not going to come back with me with a you suck, right? If I tell you how great you are, whether you're interested or not, you're like, my gosh, Celeste thinks I'm an influencer. Celeste thinks people like me. Celeste loves me. Whether you're interested or not, you're like, okay, that's awesome that she thinks that about me. And that's the biggest thing that when I'm recruiting, it's got to be genuine. But I love people, so it's super easy for me to come up with some genuine reason why I want somebody on my team. If you think of a positive thing about somebody in your network and you message them, hey, you've been uber successful in your other business. I think you'd be really good at this because people respect you. Hey, you're the mayor's wife. Yeah, the mayor's wife is a senior gold on my team. People trust you. You'd be good at this. I mean, I'm thinking of there's some people on my network that would never, ever, ever do network marketing. if it hadn't been for them trusting me and them seeing it work for me. But yeah, I mean, it's just going at them with a positive. They're going to come back with it. I'm not interested, but thanks. But you've dripped on them, right? I've never had anybody join my team on the first reach out. I'll tell you that right now. I've never sent a message and had somebody send back a message and go, what's your website? Oh, I just signed up. Never. It's always been a banter, a conversation, a process. So know that. Don't get discouraged.
Okay, so we'll close out because I wanted to be good on my time with you. But
awesome.
Thank you so much for taking time out to pour into us. We are so honored to be a part of your team. Thank you for paving the way for us, and I cannot wait to see you next week.
I can't wait either.
So I'm
it's gonna be awesome.
So excited. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
I will. Hey, listen, thank you guys. I always like to end my calls with telling everyone on the call. I try not to get weepy, but I know that I'm successful because you guys are passionate. Angie is successful because you guys are passionate. I'm successful because Angie's passionate, right? So I appreciate each and every one of you and your commitment. And I mean, I literally cry every time. It's so stupid because I do these like 3 times a week. But I love you guys, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And just keep sharing, y'all. We have the opportunity to change lives, and it's such a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you so
much. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you later.